Good morning from Resurrection Hot Rods. Daniel here. I'm going to walk you through what kind of's going on. Let's get this stand out of the way. Project 80 or 78 going to have floorboards here soon. Different video. So I went ahead and installed the 4-inch lift in the rear, and the fronts are still like 2.5 inches off the ground, and the suspension's maxed out, drooping down from having no weight on it. And the back's still higher. Yes, I know there's not a bed on there, but it's not gonna squat it that much. So I see a lot of people run 4-inch lifts and run 35s. I'm pretty positive we're gonna clear 37s very easily. So I think I like about how the tires fill up the wheel well now. So by the time I lift that and everything, it's gonna look a little goofy, but that's about what I've seen on pictures of 35s are a little bit more room than that. And I haven't seen many 37s on pictures. So I'm going to put it on there. And if it looks about like that-ish, I do not like my tire crammed in my wheel well. It just looks so hokey to me. That's just me though. I'm going to walk you through this kit a little bit. Sorry, there's pollen all over the place and allergies, so I might cough a few times. Apologize in advance. I am going to order I'm trying to do this thing on a budget, so that way anybody else who's kind of doing this, and I'm just giving honest opinions on things. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm trying to do this on a budget so that people who are looking at this is mostly their circumstances they're going to be in, because not everybody's got a bunch of money laying around. I don't even have a bunch of money laying around to do things like this. I'm not a fan of the dual block. That's the stock block, and then the kit comes with another block, which there's no way to keep that thing from spinning in there. It's not touching either side, so I don't like stacking blocks. I don't like the look of blocks, period. I like the look of a good spring lift. But for the time being, and to utilize this kit to give a proper review, I went ahead and installed it the way it was. Another thing is, my bolt, I had to get either stack washers or find some sort of thicker spacer that looks like a washer, because I'm out of thread on both sides. They're all the way maxed out. There's no more threads. So if I drive this down and I wanted to get it tighter. So if I want to drive this down the road for like, I don't know, a mile or two and come back, this whole rear end's going to be loose and I have no more thread. So that's one thing I wasn't the most thrilled about. But again, like I don't feel it's safe, and I don't think it looks the best to have blocks stacked on top of each other. Yes, you could argue that it's safe because everyone does it, and I understand that. But I mean, realistically, if you get a little squirrely and you hit a curb or something, like all that stuff to me is just gonna buckle. As you can see, I prepped and painted the spots where the lift kit was gonna be. I'm gonna drop the pan here in a little bit, or rear diff cover rather, not the pan, and get that sandblasted and DA it down so it's nice and smooth. So when I repaint it, it looks a little bit cleaner than the rear ends have that cast look, which the rear sheet metal diff cover should not have that cast look because it's pitted. So I'm gonna finish doing that, and then I'm gonna move on to the front. But I use this Eastwood rust encapsulator matte black finish. It's more of a, just a heads up, it's more of a flat, and I don't like it. I'm gonna do everything in it. I think that's my last can. I've done pretty much everything though, and then I'm gonna go over it with the sheen can that I like, and I like the U-Pull satin black. It just has a beautiful matte finish to it. This is flat, and I mean, people could argue that, well, that's because it's rusty. I mean, it doesn't matter what you spray with this stuff, because this wasn't rusty, and this is really flat black looking too. In fact, this spring hanger wasn't rusty at all. It looks a little bit shinier, but I've already done the frame in the front, and I'm just in the core support the same way, and this just has a much better sheen to it. It looks more factory. Looks a little cleaner. Oh wait, no, there we go. I didn't do the frame horns. So that's the U-Pull. That has U-Pull over it on the rust, and U-Pull over it. That's just that. So there's the contrast of what I'm talking about. I don't like it shiny black because it looks corny, but I don't like it flat black either. But that's what this whole core support looked like when I got done and I went over it with U-pull. I'm gonna go ahead and get the lift done today. That's kind of what I'm looking at here, is getting this cleaned up, painted, cleaning up my mess a little bit. Lost a little bit of fluid through the training line, which looked like motor oil. It was so bad from that transmission that was blown up. And I'm gonna get underneath here and finish prepping this frame. And then obviously I don't have to worry about the leaf spring, it's going bye-bye. Prep the cab mount. Front hanger's done. I'm gonna pull this drive line. That is, I think I have a valve cover leak. There's oil all over that side over there. It's either the valve cover has been leaking or the power steering, because that whole side of the engine was just nasty. But it looked like the belts may have been slinging it up and over the engine everywhere. I love oil leaks, and this is why. Hear me out. Yes, this sucks having to fix oil leaks and pull something to put new gaskets and stuff in. But if I had to pick a truck out of a field, and one guy tells me it's never leaked a drip of oil, and another guy tells me the other one is leaking like a sieve everywhere, I would take that one night and day. And that's why. So the tail shaft on the transfer case had a leak on the yoke, and it was slinging all over underneath of here. And everywhere that the oil hit is factory finish, fresh, no rust. That's not rust, that's just grease that I haven't scraped off yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get here and prep all this stuff. I'm gonna pour 15 the whole bottom of this cab, and then I'm gonna rattle can bed liner Raptor. We have some in a cabinet over there. And then my transmission is, there's still no word on it. That thing was pretty bad. So no word at this point means it's really expensive. And I know I'm trying to do this on a budget and do this so most people can do it, and I should have just got like a $200 or $300 transmission, a lot of people are going to say, and I've done a lot of that in the past. And what that's led me to is having to replace it again, and then replacing it with one that I got for $200-300, and then replacing it again. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate doing things more than once. I was already in here, I already took it out, I already had to blow everything to pieces, I've already restored everything behind it, around it, and I just painted the transmission and I put it back in, and I'm in there a week later pulling it out and putting another one in. I hate that stuff. I just did it. So going against the budget on this thing, I'm gonna be way better ahead just having all new internals on my transmission and knowing for sure that it's working. He specializes in trainees, like not just like rebuilding them stock, but like building them for towing, building them from racing. And so he's going to do basically a towing package for this thing, just because it's going to have bigger tires. And I might tow a trailer to get some more of these rigs and restore them for you guys. So depending on how things go, depending on how the interest goes, if people start liking these videos and things, and then I mean, we got plenty of them around here. I'll just film what's here, or I'll go rescue some. I don't care. Speaking of which, boom, this stuff's all done. Radiator's in. SEM plastic coated that stock. That's a stock factory fan shroud. I just cleaned it up, and then I SEM plastic blacked it, and I've still waiting on figuring out this situation with the transmission cooler, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace those lines because they're full of crap. And obviously I never hooked them up into my transmission yet. They're the red caps. Excuse me. $95. There's an aftermarket update kit for your AC. It replaces all the O-rings, so you can go from R12 to 134. Comes with a new canister, and it comes with a new pump. And it appears to be, that's what I was waiting to get here today. It appears to be hooking up exactly the same way that this one does, which is pretty neat. And then obviously it would be replacing every single O-ring in this whole setup here, everything. And then you just pop these 4 bolts out and pull them out, because it does not come with these. So if these are damaged on yours, you're not getting that with it. And I didn't see an option to buy them. I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying I didn't see one. That's the only ugly thing on this anymore. I mean, obviously this stuff, but I haven't got to that yet. But I did pull the fender wells. And one reason being was to restore the tops of the frames and to get my shocks out and restore those and paint those up because those are eyesores. And then also easy access to cut these tubes off and get a socket on them and pull them off and plug them to get rid of that big old ugly thing on both sides. And then once I do that, valve covers, intake, rebuild carburetor. If the carburetor rebuild goes good, I'll use that carburetor. If not, then I'll be buying one. I know, again, it's the budget again. And now I can get in here and clean this stuff up a little bit. It looks pretty good. There's no really any rust. I mean, that's just dirt, I think. Yeah, get this all cleaned up. Get my cab mount cleaned up, spring perch. Blow all this apart. So the next video, I'm going to do a two-part. The next video, I'm going to be... I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the back of this truck, and then the next video, I'm gonna blow this front end apart and walk you through some things on there. And I got new upper and lower ball joints. I need to get these rotors and drums off and get them sandblasted and painted, and then off to get turned, so that way they're nice and pretty and neat and flat and no lip, because I have all the brakes for that too. And then I don't know if this side of the kit comes with the sway bar bushings. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not. That did not come with the sway bar bushings. Those guys. I'm going to sandblast that and paint it up nice and neat. It does not come with these new bolts, and it does not come with bushings. So I'm going to order a bolt and bushing kit. And hold on. Everyone's always hot rodding around in the shop, showing off because we're a hot rod shop. Get new bushings and bolts if it doesn't come with them, and then sway bar bushings in the front if it doesn't come with them. I did get the sway bar drop kit though, so the actual sway bar links I did buy separate, and then installing the dual steering stabilizer. I'm so excited. This is gonna look so good. And the owners of the shop's bringing me a 37 that'll bolt up, so I can see if that clears the front. And if that's the case, that's what I'm going to order. And I'm glad I haven't ordered any wheels and tires yet, because depending on what size tire I go is depending on how easy it is to find, or whatever size rim I go with is depending on the size of the tire. That's easy availability and price wise. If I get 16s, I'm going to have a really hard time finding a 37. If I get 17s, it's a little easier. If I get 35s, 17 all the way around, but then the 17 looks weird and 35 it looks too big, because these are 16. Oh no, these are 16.5s. These are just my rollers though. They're gonna go up front for sale to recoup some of my money. Look at that, 150 bucks. Can't beat that. Yeah, I'm gonna get that all cleaned up. There's the work beater, the race focus, drive line, 78. Oh, the storage unit's not open. It's sitting in there getting ready to get the frame finished painted, and then we already got the front down and the motor in there. I think he's probably going to change his mind and hot rod block it, so we're going to have to put it in the paint booth and resand everything. If not, it's halfway painted with rattle can. It does look pretty good. You can't see no streaks. It does the same thing. Here's the front kit. Shocks, my bracketries, my steering stabilizer kit. I don't remember. Oh, sway bar kits, the links. The rest of my stuff, which I think I showed you guys all this, but it's kind of a mess now because I've been going through trying to find all the little pieces that I bought. Ball joints and brakes. They're bringing some more stuff today. Spring kits. Distributor cap, plugs and wires back there somewhere. ARP. Intake bolts. I'm still waiting to hear on this situation, if the guy can fix it or not. I did find Speedmaster had a Speedmaster copies Edelbrock, and I don't know if it's like a bad casting, like rejects, and they send them over there and they restamp them. I don't know, but Speedmaster's cast it in, so probably not. But it's a direct spin off of the air gap, so those are only like 360 bucks. So I'm gonna get one of those. We got lots and lots of sand for the sandblasters, so I can do the roof. And then that thing's ready for paint. At least the front half. I'm gonna do whole nother videos on the bed, walking through putting those patch panels in and turning an OBS bed into a style side bed. And next time you see anything on here, we'll be on the front lift, and I'm gonna wait to sand the fenders until I'm ready to paint. One being, if it sprinkles a little bit, it's not gonna hurt to be outside. And so after I'm done sandblasting, I'm gonna primer the roof, and then the back of the cab, and then the hood. I keep forgetting about the hood because it's always open and it looks good underneath. I'm gonna sandblast the hood and then paint both sides of that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a matte black underneath the hood. Save a little bit of time, a little bit of money on paint. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. But we'll walk you through the paint stuff when we get there as well. But for now, let's just focus on getting this thing blown to pieces and refurbished the frame rails and all the bracketries and everything that's underneath there. Cross member, not the bracketries, we got new bracketries. Get the cross members cleaned up, get the mounts cleaned up, and painted up, and then we'll just start putting things back in. We'll talk to you soon. God is good.